It's my pleasure to introduce the Dean of the Washburn University School of Law, Thomas J. Romig. Dean Romig also serves as a professor of law and is a retired Major General, U.S. Army. Dean Romig served for 4 years as the 36th Judge Advocate General of the Army. He oversaw a worldwide legal practice including civil and criminal litigation, international law, administrative law, labor and employment law, environmental law, claims, and ethics compliance. During his career, Dean Romig prosecuted felony and misdemeanor criminal cases in Texas and taught international law at the Judge Advocate General's School in Charlottesville, Virginia. Dean Romig's military service and leadership have earned him numerous decorations and badges. He retired from the Army JAG in October 2005 after 34 years of service. He served as Deputy Chief Counsel for Operations and Acting Chief Counsel for the Federal Aviation Administration before coming to Washburn Law in 2007. Dean?
Up here. Well, thank you, Tim. That was a very, very nice introduction. I want to welcome all of you to America's Heartland and Washburn University School of Law. As you heard, our Washburn Law Journal and our new this year, new Center for Law and Government are proud to host this symposium on the rule of law and the global war on terrorism. The brutal attacks of 9/11 have changed our country for generations to come. Nowhere is that more true than in parts of our legal system. The rules governing detainee treatment and interrogation had been well established and long practiced by the United States. But these, along with many other national security legal rules and policies, were reviewed and a new direction was chosen. Initially, these decisions were proclaimed as practical attempts to address unprecedented challenges to our national security. Over time, critics have questioned whether these decisions were instead based on political ideology. Assessing the motives, however, is less important than the effects, which are wide-ranging and have raised numerous questions. Now, some of these questions that have remained include, were the changes necessary? Have they been effective? What have they done to our country's historic commitment to the rule of law? What have they done to our armed forces, our national security, and our own self-image? What have they done to our international standing? Did the decision makers use the full scope of expertise available to them to make these decisions? And finally, how did we get to where we are now, and where do we want to go from here? These are just some of the questions that we will look at these next 2 days. The symposium gives us the opportunity to examine these issues and attempt to offer some alternatives as a way forward for the new administration. We are honored to have a very distinguished group of presenters and panelists here with us. We are also very pleased to have such an outstanding turnout of attendees. Your diverse backgrounds and experiences will add immeasurably to our discussions. I particularly want to welcome the members of our armed forces who are here. We all thank you for your service and for your sacrifice for our country. Thanks so much. We have grouped our symposium by broad topics on each day. Today we will look at setting the conditions for the war on terrorism and how the administration responded in areas of detention and interrogation. Friday morning, we will examine how Congress and the courts responded And then finally, on Friday afternoon, we will discuss the way forward for the new administration by looking at possible options. We hope that the discussions will be lively throughout these 2 days. We are simulcasting this symposium to 3 places. First, to our courtroom over at the law school, then to the university, also to the university's Mabee Library, and to the forum room downstairs. As you heard, the forum room has an exhibit on one of our most distinguished graduates, Senator Bob Dole. It is also a break area for you. Now we have a fully packed symposium. It's going to be a fast-moving train. So we have 2 conductors. Donna Vilander, are you here, Donna? She's outside working. And Lynn Gehring. They will help keep things going and keep us on schedule. We also appreciate your helping us to stay on schedule. I would also like to recognize and thank several people who have been instrumental in making this symposium possible. First, Professor Bill Merkel, Professor Merle Duncan, and Tim Belson, who you just met, from our law journal. They proposed the idea for this symposium back in the spring of 2008. Now, there have been a number of people who have helped make this possible by working very, very hard over a number of months. They include Lynn Gehring, Donna Vilander, Martin Wisniewski, Marcia Boswell, Donna McMurray, Jessica Dorsey, who, by the way, is doing a semester abroad study in the Netherlands and flew back especially for this, and our law journal staff, particularly Jonathan Rhodes and Troy Larson.